Ladies and gentlemen, podcasting since 2005. You're listening to Gamertag Radio. With your hosts, podcaster Hall of Famer Danny Pena, the always opinionated Paris Lilly, and from outside of the norm, Peter Toledo. This is Gamertag Radio.
Welcome to Gamertag Radio, episode 795. This is your host, Danny, and joining me this week we have, of course, the whole Gamertag Radio crew. And let's start with Paris, man. What's going on, Paris?
Hey, let me tell you something. We need to call the National Guard. We need to get the Avengers because Thanos is coming for PUBG because Blackout is about to just take over the world. I'm telling you right now, after playing it this weekend, PUBG is officially in trouble. Thanos is coming. It's coming.
All right, and also we have Pete. And Pete, do you agree with what Paris saying?
Yep. If they're not dead, if he hasn't snapped his fingers, it's close. Like, there's a lot of work that PUBG needs to do to, I don't want to try to come out of this just to try to jump on the bandwagon that everybody's saying, but it's concerning. And I said this on the last show. There's a lot of things that Treyarch has done right with this Blackout stuff, and this is still early. You know, it just came out. It's still in beta. It hasn't come out officially, but there's a lot of things that they've done right that I think PUBG and Fortnite and all the other copycats should take notice of. Not to say that it's a perfect thing. It's not 100% perfect. But they're doing a lot of things right. And I think they drew upon their experience as a developer of a PvP platform shooter, and it shows. So congrats to Treyarch so far. We'll see what else they're going to unveil come launch.
I think PUBG is fine for the PC version. Xbox,
no.
They're in trouble.
No, I think even the PC version is in trouble too.
Why is that?
Because I played on PC. I played on PC last night, and I'm like, this is not as buggy. It's Call of Duty. It has the brand name. It's very ease of use to pick it up, get in, play. The matches are quicker. Everything felt good. The weapons, the vehicles, they're in trouble. They're in trouble. I'm telling you right now. And I'm not the Battle Royale guy. And I'm telling you, coming from that avenue, they're in trouble. Somebody protect Vision because Thanos is coming. Get him into Wakanda. They're in trouble.
So if you're listening to this and if you agree with Paris, make sure to hit us up, fanmail@gamertagradio.com. If you disagree, hit us up. I want to get everybody's opinion about this, man. But personally, I think console version is extremely in trouble. PC, I think the fans are still going to stay there. That's me. But
here's the thing. It's going to come down to the quote unquote streamer audience. Does Dr. Disrespect and the rest of these guys, when it's fully out, where are they going? I mean, look, Fortnite is Fortnite. That's a monster that nobody's touching, right? But under that,
agree.
What is going to be the top streaming game? Is it going to be PUBG? Is that going to be the one they're going to gravitate towards, or are they going to go towards Call of Duty? Not to mention, let's not forget, Activision is backing this. Activision is trying to push their whole esports thing. They already got Overwatch going. They're going to try and get Destiny into it at some point. Call of Duty is already a huge monster in esports. I'm just saying, man, they're in trouble.
Actually, they're having I think like a tournament during TwitchCon, and a lot of the streamers like Ninja, Dr. Disrespect, they're going to be part of it at TwitchCon. So they're right there. They're promoting it, man. They're going to promote it with the major popular Twitch streamers, man. You know what I'm saying?
And let's not forget, like you mentioned, the console. It's for sure in trouble on the console. But part of that reason is it's on PlayStation and it's on Xbox, not just on Xbox. It's going to reach more people on the console.
I heard this rumor. I don't know how real this is, but I heard that Blackout might come out for the Switch, just that version. I don't know how real is that, but I think it's possible. If they could pull it off with Fortnite, I think they could do that with Blackout.
If they do something like that, it would have to be platformal. It would, or agnostic. It could not do. I don't think it's something that you would want to do cross-plat. I mean, if they're not going to do it for all of them, it would have to be for a singular title.
Yeah, totally agree with you. By the way, speaking of Nintendo, be prepared because I'm pissed. Be prepared, Nintendo. I have a few things to say. All right.
One last thing, real quick. Something that I didn't even realize because I played on Xbox first, which was an effing disaster trying to stream it, by the way. You can look it up in the archives. But when I went over to the PC version, my character and my progress went over with me. I didn't even realize that. I didn't even know I had them tied together, but I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Yeah,
it's not cross-plat.
Yeah, but that character I created on Xbox was there as soon as I booted up PC. I didn't have to do anything. Yeah. Worth looking into. Just a side note I noticed last night. That's all.
Okay. All right, head over to gamertagradio.com. Also, you can listen to the podcast at different podcast platforms. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and other podcast directories. Make sure to share with your friends. Let your friends know about GTR. All right. Also, very quick, just want to say that we've been nominated, man, for like 4 Latin podcast awards, 4 categories. One of them is Gaming Hobbies, English Only, United States podcast, and also LPA of the Year. That means Latin Podcast of the Year. So the year award. So that's pretty dope. Thanks for nominating us, and we'll see. Hopefully, in a couple of weeks, we'll find out if we win or not, man. So hola, Paris.
Buenos noches.
Buenos noches. No, but I'm happy about that, man. That's dope.
Send us your feedback or questions. Give us a call at 786-273-7GTR. Email us at fanmail@gamertagradio.com or leave a message on speakpipe.com/gamertagradio.
And let's see what we have here. We have a couple topics. And let's talk about the Nintendo Direct. I know originally they were going to show it 2 weeks ago, but there was an earthquake in Japan, so they had to delay it and stuff. So, which I think was good that they did that. But there was a couple cool announcements here. I think this was like the best Nintendo Direct so far this year, in my opinion. There's one game that I know is not for everyone, but I'm a fan because it reminded me of like when I started dating my girlfriend. We were like playing this way back. And it's Animal Crossing for the Switch. It's coming out in 2019. Very excited about that. I used to play that a lot on the Nintendo DS. Also, a new Luigi Mansion. Love the last one that came out for the 3DS. That was a pretty good game. They are also going to release that in 2019. Actually, Assassin's Creed Odyssey in Japan, stream only. That one is going to be like a cloud version. That's coming out only in Japan. Very interesting that they're pulling that off. Because I know Capcom did the same exact thing for Resident Evil. I tried to do it. It looks great, but because of services in Japan, there's like a huge lag. Huge lag. So if you're going to try to do that and play that version here in the States, it's not going to work. It's going to be laggy. So unless you live in Japan, then you're good. Civ, the Civilization series, man. One of the games is coming out too, Paris. I know you're a fan of that game, right?
Oh, yeah. That Civilization will be huge on the Switch. Really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I know there's another one, Skylines. That's another one that I remember you mentioned that to me when it was out for Steam. You said, Dan, you gotta download this game. This is pretty dope. It's coming out for the Switch too, man. If
you're into the old Sim City, I mean, it's Skylines took over for that franchise, and it's fantastic. Matter of fact, it's on Game Pass as well. If you have an Xbox, you can pick it up on there too. But fantastic city building sim. For sure, pick that up. And that, again, having it on the Switch, being able to take it wherever you go. Like, that game on a long flight on a plane, money.
Yeah. I can see that. Was there any on the announcements, Paris or P, that got your attention?
That they're porting over the new Super Mario Brothers over from the Wii U to the Switch as well.
That's a pretty good game, man.
It is.
For like a launch title for the Wii U?
Yeah, it is. It's very underrated because, again, no one had a Wii U, so not a lot of people played it. So just the fact that it's available on the Switch is a good thing because it'll just, again, it's Mario games, man. It's platforming games. They're always a good time to play.
Yeah, it's really dope. Yeah, if you never had a chance to play that game, make sure to buy it. It's coming out early 2019, which I'm surprised about that. Instead of them releasing it during the holidays, but I think it's because of Smash. They don't want to like compete with that game.
Is that?
You know?
What?
Yeah, it's coming out in January of 2019.
I love it. Paris had all these cobwebs on his Call of Duty stuff.
Hey. That's how much I never wear it. I never wear this thing. I'm like, what?
It's all good. Yeah, P, was there anything? I don't know if you got the chance to see it or not. Was there anything that got your attention from the Nintendo Direct?
Katamari is probably going to be the only thing that caught my attention.
Yo, I love that game. I played the Katamari game for the 360. That was my first game that I ever played of Katamari. Freaking amazing. So dope. So dope. Yeah. And I think this is a remaster from the 2000 and
the Katamari Damacy Rerolled is what it's called. So it's just an HD upgrade of the game. So I mean, but that was the major introduction to the East over here, to the whole Katamari, franchise. So it'll be good. I'd like to see Nintendo push further into the Katamari universe. Just give us more other than just an HD remake. I understand that it takes time to do things like that, and they traditionally like to take their time and do development on their own stuff. So I'd like to see something new.
That's not Nintendo. That's Bandai Namco.
But you know what I'm trying to say, though. Like, I want to see more. Yeah. Give me more of. Yes, I guess an HD remaster is great for today's gamosphere, reintroducing Katamari to a whole new other host of players on the Switch and stuff like that. But I'd like to see a new Katamari. That'd be really dope.
Yeah, definitely, man. I know there was a lot of other things too. Then so Square Enix, dude, they're releasing like a bunch of Final Fantasy games, not only for the Switch but also for Xbox. And one of them that I'm definitely gonna play is on Final Fantasy VII. I played that game like so many times, but that's dope that they're releasing that, man. Really cool. But I know during the Nintendo Direct, they finally talked a little bit more about the new Nintendo Online, which is coming out actually in a couple of days. This week, the 18th, is the official launch of the Nintendo Online for the Switch. But you could also have like a free 7-day trial. Try it out. Now, I know we talked about this a couple months ago, but if you have games like Fortnite and other free to play games, those games are not required to subscribe for like a Nintendo Switch. You're good with that. But the thing that really pissed me off about this Nintendo Online thing, of course, Nintendo Switch app. Not a fan of that. I'm not gonna download in order for me to chat online with other people. I'm gonna use Discord. So that's one. Two is it has cloud save, so which is great, right? I could save all my games there. Not all of them, but I think there's 3 games that it doesn't have that feature, which is Splatoon 2, one of the biggest games on the Nintendo Switch. You can't save your progress from there to the cloud, which is ridiculous. And there's other 2 games like FIFA and I think it's Dark Souls. Those are other ones. But let's say Paris or Pete, let's say you guys have all your saves from like Zelda, Mario Kart, Mario Odyssey, and so on. You have that, and you put it to the cloud. And let's say you forgot to pay your subscription. Can you believe that Nintendo said if you don't pay your subscription, everything that you have in the cloud, delete it right away. So if you pay for the subscription again, let's say you pay it late and you bring that back, everything is gone. So there's not like a way for them to hold it for like, let's say a month or 2. No, it gets deleted right away, which is ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. What's your opinion about this, man?
Don't play online.
Look at that. But no, they have to relax that rule because again, things happen, say someone, like you said, they forget, they don't have automated payment, they don't pay the full year up front. And then, I'm 1 day late. Now everything I've done for the past 9 months is gone. That's harsh. They'll have to relax that. But again, it's us as the community. We got to voice that so Nintendo hears it and they change it. Yeah.
And another thing too is, look, I'm excited that we're getting some old games from Nintendo that you could play, like the Switch. I know there's Mario Brothers 3, which is one of your favorites, Paris, right? There's a lot of old school games, Double Dragon, all that, right? So you pay for the $20 for the whole year, right? Let's say you're out of town. There's no Wi-Fi around your area. You're only allowed to play these games for 7 days. Once, let's say you never connect online and you play these games, you can't play it anymore. Which is also ridiculous because I pay for the whole year. Give me access for the whole year. Why I need to always connect every 7 days for those?
If I'm not mistaken, that's more for a DRM purpose.
Of course.
But let me explain it. So, and this actually came up in my interview from last week with Matthew Rose on how they counter the DRM stuff for Starlink. So for those that hadn't heard that interview, the reason they do that, it's kind of to make sure that you're not just logging into random people's switches, getting that content downloaded to the Switch and allow them to play. Right. So that's how they lock down the DRM for their title, to ensure that it's you on that device that's constantly connected. So it's a 7-day cache on your device that says he's allowed to, he or she is allowed to access this content on that Switch for the time period. And then you have to reconnect. And if you have an online, why are you going to have an online service but not connected?
And we continue with our free games for the Xbox One. Every week, we're going to give away a free game for our listeners, only on the podcast. You will not find us on Twitch, Discord, social media, only for the podcast. So this week, for our second giveaway, remember, we have 19 games in total. So for this one, we have Assassin's Creed Origins. I know last week we talked about Assassin's Creed Odyssey that's coming out very, very soon. And if you haven't had a chance to play Assassin's Creed Origins, this is it. This is your opportunity to download this game right now through your Xbox One app, through the system, or go to xbox.com. So take advantage of this right now while you're listening to Gamer Tag Radio. So here it is. This is the code. Good luck. YHG29H2KPXRM9V3 26HYTQ2YFZ. Remember, once again, this is a brand new free Assassin's Creed Origins game for the Xbox One. Thank you for listening to Gamer Tag Radio. Let's continue with the show. All right, so Insomniac, they would like to work on a new Sunset Overdrive 2, but
they won't.
They can't. Well, I don't know about they won't. I know there's potential, but it all depends on getting a publisher.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a publisher.
Who's paying for it? Nobody.
How do you know?
Look at the sales from the first one. That's all I'll say.
But come on. But look, man, the game is has a cult following.
Okay.
I don't care what you guys say.
Beyond Good and Evil had a cult following. It took almost 20 years. We still ain't got that game.
Yeah, but you know what? They brought it back, right?
Allegedly.
That's it. The thing is, when a company launch a new game, a new IP, it's challenging. It's really tough to really get the attention from everybody and stuff, right? But I know there's always going to be a small crowd that's going to love the game. I personally think Sunset Overdrive, in my opinion, is like one of my favorite Xbox One game because the campaign from overall was freaking amazing, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like there is a following for that game and there's potential. So they learn from their mistakes. They know the good stuff, the thing that people don't like in the game. And if they make the second one, I think it has the potential to even be bigger than the first one. You know, that's my opinion. But Pete, you want to play the video during the interview where they were talking about making Sunset Overdrive?
You're just coming off Marvel Spider-Man now. Is that an option at some point in the future? Is that a thing that creatively you guys would like to go back to, that you feel business-wise could be viable? Or was it sort of we tried this, it was good, people liked it, it did well, but you're not going to go back to it?
I think one of the great things about starting a franchise and having the opportunity to make sequels is that in many cases, made the hardest decisions already. Right? When you establish an IP, you know what the tone is, you know what the character is, you know what the core mechanics are that work, you know what players liked and didn't like.
Yeah.
So doing a sequel for any game, whether it's Sunset Overdrive or something else, is an opportunity to deliver something to fans that's significantly better than the original. And that's something that I think we Insomniac would love to do someday. For us, it's a timing challenge, it's a bandwidth challenge. But I do, to your point, feel like there are a lot of people out there who love Sunset. And we've certainly been asked frequently by fans, when are you going to do another one?
You just got asked again.
Exactly.
That's what happens.
Okay. Thoughts?
They're not making Sunset Overdrive 2. That's what I took from that.
They are going to make it. They have the right publisher. They're going to make it. Not now, but in the future.
Okay. I'm not trying to be an a-hole. I'm being dead serious. It did not sell. Microsoft obviously is not going to invest into it. Sony's going to be like, why don't you go make a Ratchet and Clank or another Spider-Man? We're not doing that. EA's not going to do it. Bethesda's not going to do it. Should I continue? Unless they finance it themselves, they are not going to make a sequel to Sunset Overdrive. You'll get Jet Set Radio 5 before you get that.
Well, look at Bayonetta. That game has a cult following. Now, was it like crazy sales numbers like other games? No, but a publisher like Nintendo, they took advantage of like, let's make this as an exclusive IP for our system. So it's possible, dude.
Okay. I get that you love the game, so I'm just gonna say, in my opinion, I don't see it, and obviously you want it to happen, so I'll leave it at that.
All right, and when they do announce it, I'm gonna fade right in front of you, and you just carry me, please.
Oh no, you will let you drop right to the floor. That's it.
Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? It's all good, man. So yeah, hey, I'm a fan, man. Just want to say that, man, very quick. By the way, Death Stranding will now be playable at Tokyo Game Show 2018. I don't know what I feel about this game, man. But
it's not a game.
Your thoughts about this?
It's not a game.
It's not a game. It's a movie.
Game. That's all it is. It's a walking simulator. I'm so over that game. I really am. Until they actually put out real gameplay and what the story, the plot is, and all that. Like we said back in the day, it is vaporware, dude. It is. I don't want to see another trailer, anything for this game until they put a date on it and say, yep, this is a real game. Here's how you play it. I see somebody with a controller in their hand actually doing something.
Now, why everybody is excited for it? Is it because of the developer?
Yeah, that's why.
Or is it because of
That's it. Think about it. If it wasn't Kojima, would people have patience for that game right now?
Oh, they'll be trashing it.
Oh, of course not. Yeah, they did absolutely be trashing it right now. Going, what the hell
think about it. Think about it. And we talked about it with Pactor back at E3. We're not going to see Death Stranding probably until 2020 anyways.
2020. It's a long time. Yeah,
well, considering the way that this game has gone, there's not going to be a playable demo in 2018 at this point, right? Because if they're not doing it at TGS, there's no other major shows coming on for the gaming industry. It's not ready. Well, I don't know if it's ready.
There's the PlayStation experience. They could have that game there.
But when is that?
That's it. December, during the weekend Video Game Awards. That's it. That's the only thing I could come up with. But do you remember when we were at the PlayStation press conference at E3 and they showed the trailer and it finished and there was like no applause? It was kind of awkward. Nobody knows
because nobody. I don't even. I mean, we had Kojima.
Awkward.
We had Kojima sitting 3 rows behind us in that tent. And I think even he might be still confused as to what the hell Death Stranding is all about. Okay. I don't know. I don't even know if Kojima understands or knows what he's trying to do.
That was just awkward. I don't know, man. Look, is there anybody that's listening to this or watching this, if you're excited for Death Stranding, please let us know why you're excited. Because I tell you right now, I know almost 90% of the people out there has no clue what this game is about. But if you're excited for it, let us know. Hit us up, fanmail at gamertagradio.com, and tell us why you're excited about this game. Is it because it's a PlayStation exclusive or what? Let us know. All right, next topic here. Paris, Destiny 2 Raid. Big. That was the buzz for a couple of days now, and I would like to get your thoughts about the whole overall experience from other people. I don't know if you completed it or not, or you played it, but go for it, man.
All right. No, okay. So the raid, the last wish for Destiny 2, actually only completed yesterday. There's only been 4 teams in the entire world that have completed it. It took the first team 18 hours and 48 minutes, I believe, to actually complete that raid. It obviously blasted past the time, their time record that Vault of Glass had, for the original raid for Destiny 1, which is significant because no one had done a raid in Destiny before at that point. We know how to raid now, and it still took the best teams in the world almost 24 hours to actually beat it. And then, the 3 other teams that did it over 24 hours to do it. It's insane. It is absolutely insane that the raid is this hard. It's been a combination of, it's very mechanic heavy and just the DPS level. This is why Bungie gave everybody 10 days before it actually came out, because by the time you get to that final boss, you're looking at 580 power level that you need to be at. A lot of these teams are coming in at 540, 550, and they just simply did not have the DPS to be able to handle some of these bosses. Myself personally, I have not touched it. I peeked at it a few times just to kind of just see environments, but I didn't want to see any mechanics or anything like that. I do want to try and do it blind when I do it, but it's might be a couple weeks. I'm 535 right now, and from what I understand, I could probably do the first encounter, maybe the second encounter. But after that, I'm just simply not high enough. So my plan is maybe next week I'll jump in, try and do the first couple encounters just to get some of the gear early on to help boost my power level. But a full run, it may be 3 weeks to a month before I try an actual full run of this raid, which is great because this is what we were asking for. We wanted a challenge in Destiny. We wanted it to be hard. We wanted the raid, the actual completion of a raid, to be a milestone, to be something that only a few people can do. Now, look, as expansions comes out, as power levels go up, more and more people are going to be able to do it if you have the determination to actually do it. But I think we're done with easy mode for Destiny. I think that's over with. What I've seen so far with Forsaken is they've brought back the grind. They brought back all these challenges. And the fact that when the first team did beat the raid, it actually changed the Dreaming City. Riven put out his last wish. He put out a curse on the city. So it opened up a new strike, which we'll talk about in a second. Opened up a new Gambit mode. It opened up a new a new quest line. The heroic version of the Blinding Well is open now. It's just, and it's going to change again. Dreaming City is going to be on a 3-week cycle, moving forward with changes to it, which is just going to open up new quests and new secrets and everything else in that world. It's fantastic, man. Like I said, when I talk about end game, we're in the end game now, man. Doctor Strange is losing his mind because we're in the end game. This is what I wanted from Destiny. And I was on Crucible Radio, which people listening to this, that episode's probably out now, but we recorded an episode of Crucible Radio right before the raid, and we're just talking about Gambit mostly, but we're just saying, like, Destiny, this is the best that it's ever been. And what I said was, to me, this was that natural progression from the end of Destiny 1. Like, to me, these were all the lessons learned from Destiny 1 and what Destiny 2 should have been at launch. Yeah, they screwed up. They tried to make it too casual. It took them a year to basically fix it, but it's fixed now. It is. And I've had a ton of people obviously hit me up on Twitter and everything, asking me questions about Destiny 2. Oh, should I play it? Should I invest? Should I do this? And like I said, if you're on PlayStation, you can play the base game for free. If you're on PS Plus, absolutely go take a dip into that. Is Forsaken worth that $40 investment to jump in? I can't answer that for you. I will not tell you to spend your money, other than if you're interested in Destiny. For me, it's worth the investment. Obviously, I've been playing it long enough, and I have the annual pass and all that stuff, which, thanks to Activision, I got it for free, just full disclosure. But I would have paid for it. I was completely willing to pay for it because this is my grind. I love this kind of stuff. And I love that the raid looks crazy as hell, because like right now, I'm like, I have no idea how I'm going to finish this, how I'm going to do it, and just talking to some of my raiding buddies that actually did attempt it. Yeah, they're just saying, like, the whole Sherpa thing, Sherpa might be dead for this raid, at least early on, because it's so mechanic heavy. One of my good friends that we raid all the time, he estimates even once we get our power levels up, this raid is probably a 2 to 3 hour investment every time you play it. Every time. Even if you know everything that you're doing, you're still probably going to take about 3 hours to be able to go through this raid, which if you go back to the old ones, once you know what to do, you blow through these things in 40 minutes. I think those days are over, and that's great. This is what I wanted from Destiny, so I'm excited about it. Danny, I know you played that strike. I know you had some comments on all this stuff, so go for it.
Yeah, this is coming from a person that is not a huge Destiny fan like Paris, and I know P used to be even more hardcore than me when it comes to Destiny. I played that raid for the first time actually late last night. I had my headset on, started playing. I was playing online matchmaking with other people randomly. I think by far is the best strike that I ever played so far out of all strikes. It felt like I was playing a raid, and correct me if I'm wrong, Paris, it felt like it was long too, like compared to other strikes. But overall, the experience was freaking amazing, man. And there was moments that I even got goosebumps, man. The combination of the music and the boss battles and the environment, everything what was going on at the same time. I was like, yo, this is a strike? Holy crap, this is dope. Super dope. I'm loving it, man. And if you said that there's other things that's going to happen in the future, I think that's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah,
see the combination of both. Yeah,
and that's what makes, for me, that's what makes Destiny great is the things that they hide that aren't in plain sight that you have to discover. The community collaborations, like I feel like I'm back to that point again where I need to be on Reddit every morning to see if there's something new, right? Like you mentioned the strike, that is the best strike they've ever done. It is, period. Yeah. It almost has a mini raid encounter type feel to it. It has mechanics in it. It requires cooperation. Obviously, because it's matchmaking, you don't necessarily have the full communication that you would have in a raid, but there's enough there that it's compelling, it's challenging, it's fun. Like it's something that you want to run again. Even side note on that, I don't even think you've done this yet, Danny. Like the Ascendant challenges that we'll have every week now requires you to explore the Dreaming City, requires you to get a certain item so that you can open up the Ascendant realm. Then you have to find out where the portal is going to be on the map for that week. Then you go into the challenge, and then there's an objective that you have to do in there. And, you need that 3-man fire team to go in there. Like I was doing it on stream last night with Trey and, a friend of mine where we ran in and did the Ascendant challenge, and it's fun as hell. There's little things like that, or like the weekly wanted bounty. Like Trey and I went and did that last night too. Fun as hell. It's these little things. And obviously I've talked about Gambit, till my freaking eyes bleed. I love that mode. That is the mode for me. And that's in that game. I'm just telling you guys, yeah, it's cool to say that Destiny's dead and Destiny sucks and blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff. I don't think so anymore. I really don't. I think anyone that actually invests the time and picks that game up and starts to play it. Like you hearing Danny talking about it. I don't prompt Danny at all. Danny be coming to me, hey man, I went and did this. Did you do that yet? Da-da-da-da. He's excited about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
let me ask you this, Paris. This was a new developers, right? That worked on this with Bungie, right?
Yeah. High Moon. Was it High Moon Studios? Is how you say it. But yes, High Moon and Vicarious Visions are the other two studios that Activision brought in to help Bungie actually, develop it. Because and someone brought up the great point about this. What it's done is like High Moon has come in and done a lot of the heavy lifting as far as just assets and creating levels like Dreaming City and all that. It allows Bungie to actually be more creative, as far as it gives them the freedom. They don't have to spend all their time and effort building the world. They got High Moon to build the world. They got Vicarious Visions to build the world. They can come up with these new mechanics, and like the raid team can just put their heads down and like, what is the craziest stuff that we can throw at these guys versus, all right, we got to build a level. We got to do this. We got to do that. It allows them to come up with all these crazy secrets. Like the fact that now the raid isn't the end of the end game. The raid is just a part of it. Like the story actually evolves because of beating the raid. That's amazing. Like, it affects every person that plays the game in the world in a different way. Not just, oh, I went in a raid and I beat the boss and now I got some gear. It's like, no, someone actually beat the raid boss and the raid boss cursed the Dreaming City, which changed the Dreaming City. That's amazing. I mean, and we know there's other stuff coming. We know there's more secret quests and all these other things coming in there. It's starting to embrace, which I've never played, by the way, because I will get divorced, which this game tempts me from getting divorced too. World of Warcraft. They're bringing in a lot of elements of World of Warcraft into Destiny, for the console experience. And obviously it's on the PC now as well. And then you throw in a Gambit mode and Crucible and all these other things that they have. But like I said, I can't say it enough. This is the best that Destiny has ever been. And I got confirmation earlier this week that, Deej is going to come on. We're going to do it in October because he even said, when you want me to come on? I was like, let's push it into October because I want, with all these secrets and these different things, I want us to fully experience the game before he comes on so we can openly talk about everything, that we're seeing right now. Like, imagine if Deej would have come on before the raid. There's barely anything we can talk about. Oh man, we're anticipating the raid. Now that the raids happen and it's changed the game, there's so much more stuff to talk about. So, like I said, we're going to do that in early October. Looking forward to him coming on, but I'm excited about it. You guys know how excited I am about it. I can't say it enough. Yeah. It's just great, but go ahead, Pete.
You mentioned that there's a potential now that the raid's going to be 2 to 3 hours long. Is that something, having had that experience where we've gone through the raid and it's taken us 2 to 3 hours just to get through it, just because of the mechanics or the coordination and timings and things like that don't happen. Now, to successfully complete it, you can't speed run it in 40, 45 minutes like we used to be able to. Now, to be able to successfully run it through, it's 2 to 3 hours. We're talking people who may or may not be able to run that whole thing in a one-sit experience. I don't know if the 2018 gamer is ready for something like that, other than for those that have gone through those 5-hour Monday night experiences trying to get there before the reset happens, right?
Well, take this statistic. I guess in the first day of King's Fall from the Taken King, that raid, 37,000 people completed that raid. Last Wish, 18. That, I mean, bravo to that raid team, what they've done. That only 18 people, and look, and we're in year 4 now. We know how to raid. We know what to expect. We know how to gear up. Everyone knows what they're doing. And look at the drastic drop. I personally love it. And I get what you're saying, Pete, that now it's not going to be as widely adopted because of the potential time commitment. Look, we could all be wrong. We could see in a month from now, when everyone's at 580 plus power level, there are speed runs through it at 45 minutes. But the early reception to it compared to previous raids is, I don't think that's going to necessarily happen, at least not right away. And yeah, that's probably going to put some people off, and you may see the percentage of people playing the raid dip. But I'm actually okay with that. I think completing the raid should be a badge of honor. It shouldn't just be another thing to do in Destiny. It should be the penultimate, I think I'm saying it right, I'd be Ebonics, but just the high standard, the gold standard of completing something in this game for the end game. I really do. So if the percentage of it lowers, that's fine. You should go in knowing that it will take a time commitment. And let's be real here. There's no one saying that you have to do it all in one sitting. You have an entire week to do it, but I do understand getting 6 people together to complete a raid is like herding cats. We just know that. That's just a part of it. So I do expect the percentages to lower for it, but I'm okay with it. I'm going to say right now, I'm going to complete it. I know I am, and I'm going to have such a sense of pride that I did do it because, like I said, the little bit that I did see, it looks crazy as hell. All the mechanics and everything. Crazy. But that's I want one last thing, but that's why I always say, and I've said it when Deej has been on, all that stuff, which, by the way, Deej has even said when he's been on here, when they originally created that Vault of Glass raid, they only expected a small percentage of people to do it. They weren't expecting a large adoption, so maybe they're actually getting back to that. But the one last thing I'll say is, to me, getting 6 people together to work as one with communications, the mechanics, the DPS, everything that goes into that. You complete one of those raids, it should be a sense of pride. It should be an accomplishment, and it should be something that you're tweeting to the heavens about that you've done. And I think that's what they're getting back to.
Yeah, I still remember those late night sessions, going to bed at 2:30 in the morning, trying to beat the reset on Tuesday mornings. Finally defeating the Vault of Glass, or what was the one with the platforms at the end, the Taken King one, right?
Yeah, it's King's Fall. Mm-hmm.
King's Fall. No, not King's Fall. Titan's Fall, or not Titanfall.
What, Crota?
Crota, yeah. See, doing those, trying to hit those resets, I'm assuming that they still have you have the, you can still do portions or, the different components of the raid until you get to the end. So you don't have to try to run through it all in one night. You can, Monday is part 1, Tuesday is part 2, Thursday is whatever. You can section it off throughout the week, provided you finish it before the Tuesday reset. That hasn't changed, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Just want to go to the next topic here, but I'm having a blast with Destiny 2 Forsaken. It's a lot of fun, and I'm hooked. I'm playing that, man. I've been switching between that and Blackout the whole time, and also Spider-Man. Actually, I'm taking a break from Spider-Man because I don't want to rush the game. Right now I'm like 60%, so we'll see. Oh, we got visitors here. All right, so let's go with fan mail.
Fan mail at gamertagradio.com.
I'm going to start with this one right here. This is from Scratch That. Say, hey, what's up, guys? Love the podcast. And Pete is a Division boss. Rest in peace, that Survivor game at the Chopper. But hey, I wanted to ask you guys, where do you think the future of first-person shooting games is headed? There's so much battle royale hype. Are we slowly witnessing the death of objective-style game modes like Domination and Team Deathmatch? Also, why do you think battle royale game has been such a monster hit? Thanks for your time, guys. I listen to the podcast every week. I work while I walk. Keep up the good work. Thanks, man. Your thoughts, Pete?
Well, first, shout out to Scratch for calling in or writing into the podcast. Why do we see it? It's because it's a different style of game as opposed to the standard capture the flag, the TDMs, last man standing, which at the end of the day, it's basically last man standing, just with a group mechanic, depending on whether you're doing squads, solos, or duos. I don't think we'll see the end of objective style game modes. People still like to see those. We've seen the success of Rainbow Six Siege. Their new Grim Sky expansion just hit the airwaves last week. Mm-hmm. It's not going anywhere at any time soon. I just think it's different. It adds a level of difficulty because of the constricting circle, whether it's cloud, gas, electrical, whatever it is, depending on your game that you're playing. But it's at the end of the day, it's an objective style game mode in and of itself. You have to survive, you have to loot, you have to get kills to win. Although, unless the circle just happens to be in a specific area that the other person can't get to, and you've already gotten there, then you get that randomized win with no kills. But at the end of the day, it's different. It's not. It's outside of what people have already begun to expect from first and third person shooters. The regular siege modes or capture the flag. Things like that. It's fine. I think it's fun. I enjoy it. I appreciate it. I like that we're seeing variations of it. We'll see. I think it's going to be here for a while to come. Whether it can be successful as an esport, though, that's going to take a lot of hand-holding, a lot of work, a lot of API backend type of stuff to be able to get casters to be able to successfully see all the action and be able to talk to it, coordinate camera work so that you can, people can get to those specific areas and see the action, not cut away before something happens. It's still in its infancy, but we definitely see the growth and the potential in it.
All right. You guys want to read a question? There's also emails too that I haven't put in there.
Shout out to Raging Meerkat. Hey guys, wanted to see what you guys thought about this problem I have with my Nintendo Switch. I love it. However, I can't seem to stay playing it for more than a couple of days. I'm always on my Xbox or PlayStation. I'm pretty sure that's because of the achievement/trophy system. I think the Switch needs achievements. I feel that if it did, I'd have more reason to play it. I love Zelda, but stopped playing because of other games at the time, and without achievements to look forward to, I don't feel a need to finish it. Do you guys feel this way at all, or is it just something I need to get over? Keep up the great work, guys. This show helps me get through lonely grave shifts. Thanks.
I wouldn't say that he needs to get over it, but it's not something that compels me to play a game. I play a game because I enjoy it. I don't play it for the achievements, but I know that there are people out there that is one of their primary drivers, is to get the achievements, to see the progression, that way. Like it's a check mark that I accomplish this thing in the game, so they want to be able to do it. So yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, look, the Switch is a fantastic piece of hardware with compelling content on it. I would just say, just try to knuckle down and try and just enjoy the games on there and not worry about the achievement system. Nintendo, they haven't done achievements yet. I don't see it happening anytime soon, so I wouldn't hold my breath on it at all. But you go and you play on the platforms where you're enjoying yourself. That's really what it comes down to. If you're simply not enjoying yourself on the Switch, then continue to be on the Xbox or PlayStation or whichever platform you're on. But I mean, that's really something that's up to you.
See, like I've been playing a lot of the Nintendo Switch games, like for example, Dead Cells, right? So there's certain parts in the game that if you play the Xbox version or PlayStation, you unlock achievements and stuff. But if you're playing the Switch version, you won't get an achievement, but you unlock like a certain item or a badge or something that it's part of. It's like achievements, but it's in the game. It's not like a regular trophy achievements thing, So I like that. Or like say you play Mario Kart, maybe you unlock like new cards or characters based on the certain things that you do in the game. That to me is an achievement because you're unlocking that in the game. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but achievements goes way back, like since the early 80s, late 70s, when the gamers used to go to, like, let's say an arcade spot and they reach the top of the leaderboard, like, oh man, I'm number one, I'm the best player at this spot that has the highest score, right? So in all these arcades, they have like an address where you could take a picture of your score, you send it to the developers, and they send you like a cool patch that you could put it like in your jacket or jeans or just have it for your house and stuff. So that's how achievements got created, because people used to do that back in the 80s and late 70s, man. So, but look, man, we played a lot of these games without achievements back in the early days, with Atari, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Dreamcast, Saturn, original PlayStation. There was no achievements. But yeah, I got hooked with unlocking achievements during the early days of the 360. It wasn't like that for the PlayStation 3 at first. They added trophies like later on. But dude, man, I think now I'm not even thinking about achievements anymore, man. I used to be like that. So I'm just playing games, like you said, Paris. I'm playing games because I'm having fun with the game, not because I want to unlock achievements, So yeah, I just want to say that very quick, man. So, but thanks for the email, man. That was a great email. Thanks.
Okay, no, here's one. So,
okay.
And I don't want to butcher his name, but this one is from our Discord, Katariztov. I'm going to say it that way. Probably butchering it, so I apologize. So he goes, hello, Godfrey and GTR. Just heard the interview with Greg Miller and also the interview with Jason Schreier. Just wanted to say these were great as a listener to both Kind of Funny and Split Screen, in addition to, of course, GTR. These interviews felt like the Avengers movie to me, like a clash amongst titans. It was great hearing the backstories and how they got to where they are now. Next time, you should have Paris and Pete, along with Kirk Hamilton and Tim Geddes, just to make the Infinity Wars episode. I'm half kidding, of course. Just wanted to say that these were awesome. Frank. Danny.
That would be cool. I had a great time talking to Jason and Greg. It was cool, man. Just sitting down, just having a great conversation, man. It's not clickbait or anything. It was just a conversation, man. That was a lot of fun, man. And I got to meet the whole crew at Kind of Funny. And for Jason, he was showing me around the Kotaku office, and that was pretty cool, man. I think it's good to sometimes to just get to know the person, that the content creator, the blogger, the writer, the journalist, get to know more about them too, man. Because I think we're so much focusing on the news, or the rumors and gossip, and let's get to know about these people, man, because they're human beings too, man. You know, so I think I learned a lot from both, especially Greg, coming from, you know, up and coming writer, and you know, trying to apply to IGN multiple times and get a decline and all that, and then he finally got a job there. That was awesome, man. I think it was cool, really cool, man. And now he's doing his own thing now with Kind of Funny, you know. So, what are your thoughts, guys, about both interviews?
Go ahead, Pete.
No, I liked the Jason interview, but I really dug the Greg Miller interview simply because it showed that through hard work, and it's something that we've echoed on several times here on the show, on the documentary, that you're going to have your failures. And it's not about how many times you fail, but how many times you pick yourself up after those, and you learn from those experiences, and you use those as your driving force to get to your end goal. You know, hearing Greg talk about, you know, all those constant email attempts coming out of his college email account, and then switching over to his Gmail account. And then he finally gets hired after that first one on his 13th attempt. And he asks them, well, why now? Why after 13, attempts? And it was, you know, the editor-in-chief at the time saying, because we've seen you putting forth the effort. You've been working to do this. You're not doing this, you know, once every month putting out an article. You were doing this on a daily blog. You were putting in the work, and hard work, you know, and it shows that the reward was as a result of all the hard work, from showing the dedication and putting forth the 150% effort it takes to be successful in not just this, but in any industry. So, you know, it was things like that. It was kind of like a vindication, a validation to the everyday guy, you know, to the shirtless Spider-Man, you know, if we want to go there, just to see how he was just like us. He is just like us. We just want it, you know, and if you want it just as bad, or if not more, you'll succeed. It may not be overnight. You know, that is the 1% success. You know, that is the 1% unicorn. But if you just put the time and the effort, and you know, you'll get the success. You'll get the accolades. You'll get all of that. It just comes with time and effort.
Yeah, in life, you have to pay dues, man. You can't just, hey, success right away. Everything's gonna take time, man. You know, and there's gonna be bumps here and there that it's probably gonna get you to the point like you probably want to quit, but keep on going, man. So, Paris?
Yeah, just echoing everything that Pete just said. The Jason Schreier one, I really enjoyed, and for different reasons than I enjoyed the Greg Miller one, and I won't repeat everything, but just to simply say that they come off, you see the human side of them, because, you know, we see the headlines, we see the videos and all that, but you never get to actually know the person and what motivates them and what drives them, you know, the highs and the lows of their careers, etc. And I think that's what we got out of both of those interviews. And it just goes back to something that, you know, we've talked about in the past. You have to remember, these are just people too, just like all of us. They're just people that are through hard work and determination have gotten to the positions that they are, you know, in this industry. And we all have the same problems. We all got to pay our bills. We all have a social life. We all have this, that, and the other. We've all been told no. We all have anxiety. All of it's wrapped into one. And that's the one thing that I took from both interviews, especially the Greg interview, to hear more of his story, and just, you know, it was hard work to get to where he is now. It really was. And obviously with Jason as well. And I respect both of them, you know, immensely. But anyone that's listening to this or watching this on Twitch right now, I think that's the one thing that you should take from this. If you want to get into this industry, if there's anything that you want to do, it takes hard work, period. No one's going to hand you anything. It takes hard work, determination, and it takes being okay to be told no. I think you know, the three of us, we say that privately all the time, you know, when we're reaching out for various pieces of content or trying to get an interview, whatever the case may be. I'd rather you tell me no than to not say anything at all and ignore me, or to give me the freaking runaround. Just be upfront and say no, because that tells me if it's no, then why is it no? What do I need to do to work harder to resolve that so that I do get the access I need, or do get the interview that we're trying to get, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I took from all that. I thought both interviews were great. And, props to you, Danny, for getting both of those done. I thought they were phenomenal.
Yeah. I want to get Andrea Renee.
Yes. I've been pinging her too on the side. Like, we got to get it done, because when I had the opportunity to hang out with her at Comic-Con, we openly were talking about that at dinner, just saying that, yep, we got to do it. Because like I told you, Dan, and I don't think we talked about this on the podcast, it was so funny when I got to meet her, and this is when she hosted the Division 2 panel, like right before she went on to do it. And, the intro's happening. She was like, "Oh, you're Paris. Like, I've heard your name before." She goes, "You work with Danny. I know Danny. Danny's great." Like, she just wanted this whole thing about Danny without me saying anything. And she said absolutely she would love to come on and do something. So, yeah, we got to make that happen, man, for sure. Plus, she plays a lot of Destiny. Yep.
Yeah, we're going to make that happen, because she's been super busy lately. So hopefully once things slow down, she could be on a podcast and we could have a great conversation, man, about the behind the scenes and her story, because a lot of people don't know anything about a lot of things about her, man. They don't know. So I want to learn more things, man, about Andrea. So let's see. All right, anything else, guys, or we're gonna wrap it up?
I think that's it.
That's it. All right. So
I have one last thing. I want to say it on the podcast proper and not on the after show. Thank you, Elgato. I finally got my replacement 4K 60 Pro card. It is working. I'm now able to stream. I've been doing a few streams here and there the past few days. And, shout out to Pete, who's completely changed our layout and everything. And, he hopped on with me yesterday to kind of get my new layout working, and all that stuff is great. But I just want to thank Elgato, being patient with me, because I was definitely very impatient, because I didn't like that my card wasn't working and all these great games were coming out and I wanted to stream them. But we got that taken care of, and I really appreciate it. And shout out to Scuff, because my Scuff controller didn't work. They hooked me up, and I sent my old one back, and they're going to fix it for me, and I should get it back next week. So thank you to them too.
That's dope. P, I know any updates about the donations for your trip for TwitchCon? What's going on with that?
Well, we're going to break the fourth wall. I know we're doing, we've got September going on, which is Twitch's way of helping people out who have been gifted subs. You can renew your sub for 1 year. Not for 1 year. For $1, you can resub for the following month, all through the end of September. We've got, the Bang TwitchCon thing going on within our live streams, which is trying to help get me to TwitchCon later next month. And I am going to break the fourth wall here. Typically don't do this, but Kataristov, we just read out his fan mail earlier. He just dropped $150 via donation for the TwitchCon goal. There's a $1,000 goal going on right now. So every time I stream, you'll see that at the bottom. Just hit, either the link in the comment, or just hit the Twitch, the donate panel inside Twitch. Mm-hmm. And you can send a donation that'll help get me to TwitchCon. Why do I want to go to TwitchCon?
That's dope.
It's not mostly for the parties. It's because I get to go there, meet with other content creators on this platform to help make this show bigger and better. You'll notice that we've gone through a lot of changes over the last 14 months here on Twitch. From starting off with just our basic layout. We went from, shout out to Mandy with helping us out, getting us off the ground with our layouts, to now we've got interactions, we've got stingers, we've got transitions. It's become my personal hobby now, on trying to find ways to make this show on Twitch bigger, better, and more phenomenal, not just for us, but for our listeners and viewers, around the world. I would like to eventually move this to YouTube as well. After we launch it, after the show goes live, after the podcast comes out, do an export, push it to our YouTube channel, just to get the GTR community out there, in more people's eyes and ears. So,
agreed.
That's mainly why I want to go to TwitchCon, because I want to go to the panels. I want to learn more. There has to be more than what I'm currently doing here on Twitch for the show, and whatever I can do to make this bigger and better, for everyone. That's my main goal right now. So, thank you, Kateristov. You're the man, dude. Wow.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot. And anybody else out there that would like to donate and make this happen for Pete, make sure to go to donate.gamertagradio.com. That's donate.gamertagradio.com. Or if you have Amazon Prime, go to twitch.tv/gamertagradio. Go there and subscribe for free on Twitch, and we get a small percentage for the for our channel and our podcast and stuff. So that will help us out big time, man. Or go to store.gamertagradio.com. You could buy some Gamertag Radio gear. All right, so Let Me Dream, Enhanced, or the logo, posters, stickers, whatever you want. We all have it there, man. So that's about it. We're going to wrap it up here, and thank you for listening to Gamertag Radio episode 795. Until next time, we're out. Peace.
Thanks for listening to Gamertag Radio. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Thank you for listening to Gamertag Radio. If you'd like to donate and help us out for future events and more coverage and also better audio equipment, head over to donate.gamertagradio.com. That's donate.gamertagradio.com. Thank you.